Yeah, from the last meeting, everyone activated their first tool, and I sent out the second one. So it sounds like you were able to activate that. And there's like 3 slots for tools, and there's different rarities for all of them. So we're kind of starting off with the common tools, and as you make your way up, more valuable or more rare tools, mine and get you a little bit more trillium. But it's a good question. They started off mining, and it was interesting to see what the community liked. Did they like getting trillium from mining, or did they like getting drops of NFTs more? And so many people were into the NFTs, but like any DAO and any company, they slowed that down, and I'm not sure for legal or why, and they just activated it again by letting you claim an NFT after you mine so much. So there is that little mine NFT. Let me just get to my game so I can talk intelligently here. But it is worthwhile, and I'll just walk you over through that. So every time you claim your mine, it adds a little bit of points to that NFT points.
And well, because I think your methane swampland deal, the card shows 0 in the thing in the middle, which I thought was the NFT thing.
Okay, maybe I'll share my screen here.
I was trying to figure out what all these symbols mean.
Yeah, I know they keep adding, which is trying to keep the community engaged. Wow, it's like you're in multiple places. It's like you guys cloned into each other.
I was Dabu, but now I'm I changed from a cat, I think, to a panda, or something.
It's awesome. Right, I'm just gonna screen share here.
Because the cards have the pickaxe, then a symbol that looks like a baseball pad or whatever, or a pyramid or something, which stands for POW. And then it has the NFT power, which looks like a sun or something, asterisk.
So the redeemable NFTs kind of confused me to start with. And if you have, so you can redeem your points for these NFTs that have already been released in the game. So that's really not the exciting part. If you go over to this NFT points and press it, might take a while. My computer's kind of slow today. Okay, and it shows up which NFT rank reward are you going to get next. So these are brand new rewards. So your NFT points keep going up as you mine. And I wouldn't exchange them or redeem them for the right side ones, because those are
you're never going to get enough points for those.
Well, and the thing is, you can go into market and just buy those. These NFT ranks are kind of brand new ones that you just receive for free. So I've gone through many steps to get 7,000 points. And every time I get some more points, I've got about 10 of these ranks, and it says down here 11,000 and 21,000. Once you have enough points, you press the button and it'll give you that NFT. So that's kind of the game they're playing. Instead of giving out random NFTs, they've kind of associated the NFTs with how much you're mining. And
but right now I'm not getting any NFT points. Like I'm still at 0 of 66 for my first card or whatever, because I think it has to do with your swampland or your methane land. It's not giving me NFT points.
Okay. Well, you know what? I've been mining on Neri 18.3 the whole time with this. It might mean that we just need you, to get some better tools. So I'll send out after this call some more tools, and then just let me know if that kind of changes. And if it doesn't, I'll get some support guys in here and kind of ask why. Yeah.
Because here, let me show you what I mean. What I observe is if I share my screen, see, this is when I search for at 18.3. This is the card that comes up.
Yeah.
This is where I believe to be mining too, right?
Yes.
And see how it says 0 right here? I believe that thing, I don't know, it doesn't, see how see, I was trying to match these symbols. Mining
Right.
power, 2.3, then this one is 0.
Yeah.
And then NFT power 2.3. So this NFT points, for some reason, I equated it to that middle thing, and I don't know how.
Okay. No,
I don't know if it is related to that. I
you're
probably believe, it doesn't look like it though. I could be wrong.
no, you're exactly right. I just know that somehow I've been able to get, points on there, but it could be that I'm using other tools that kind of multiply it as well.
Right.
But I will find a land, let's see, that will have more of that POW points. Let me just look at the inventory here. The exciting timing around this game is that I got into it for the governance, and rumor has it is their governance tools are going to be coming up really soon. So we're going to see political playoffs and a lot of marketing from community leaders to rally people to start staking on the planets, because it's your stake on the planets that gets you a vote. And it is going to be, I'm not exactly sure how their weighted tokens are going to be used for voting, but it's going to be the very kind of first step on individuals deciding where part of the pot of money that the planets release for mining is going. So I think it's just an opportune time for us to say, why don't you come over? Do you think I guess it's more of a question. Do you think your community is going to appreciate you being transparent on how you and the other custodians of the planet are making decisions? And I think this could be an opportune time for us to provide the fractal governance method as a transparent way of how those groups came to consensus. So I don't have any influence, nor would I want to, change the way the creators of the game are doing governance. That's their prerogative. But I think at the very least, this would be a way to introduce fractal governance, to these leaders. But furthermore, a really nice tool, right? Like, I know we're still in alpha and don't have kind of our video on chain. But yeah, so my mission with all this is to kind of have, this is a testing grounds, so we can show other groups, other games, the importance of being transparent with their governance decisions. And I think it's a nice timing that, Alien Worlds is the biggest game and it's starting out with their own governance, that we can kind of match the two. So I know this is kind of intro to Alien Worlds, but I want to put up the video and hopefully we can kind of be an intro to governance, kind of flip the table, intro to governance to the Alien Worlds community. And the people that are participating in this Alien Worlds fractally, we could be hopefully the teachers, and we've gone through a few layers of this, that we can kind of step up and be the guidance and the helping hand of how to run these meetings, and what is consensus.
Cool. Well, I looked at all the other plots on Neri, and none of them have they all show 0 on that field. So I'm thinking maybe it has to do with the tools I'm using. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and I know that just because I received all those points, all those NFT points for mining on that 18.3.
But I can't find a better value in return for mining, like as far as the other two, like, because it's, whoops, 18.3, not 2. See this 2.3, 2.3.
Yeah,
That's high. Like I can't find another card on Neri that gives me
Right.
as much.
yeah.
Most of them don't even get into the twos.
Yeah, no, I think what I'll do is get you guys another card so you can activate that. I'm just kind of trying to do that in the background right now. And then if you really want to get thick in the weeds, we can kind of do that next meeting, and I can lay out. I didn't prepare to kind of have what are all these numbers on the cards, but there is a calculation almost of matching the numbers on your card to the land to either maximize one, your trillium you're mining, or two, the NFTs you're getting, or kind of having it in the balance, of trying to get a balanced amount of NFTs and trillium. The governance up to now, it'll be interesting to see how many people start staking to planets. Staking to planets haven't had a financial return on investment. You're just staking there to kind of fill up the pot of that planet. And in turn, that trickles trillium down to all the miners. But it'll be interesting in the next couple of weeks if we see some, governance talk from Alien Worlds of how people start using their earned trillium to start putting some weight behind governance. So that's going to be kind of an interesting thing. I'm going to start using this platform to interview the custodians or the people that are running for governance on Alien Worlds, and feel that those would be the people that we can start the conversation. Around governance, and use Fractally as the at least one tool they can utilize to help explain people about governance. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick. Yeah, that all sounds really good, Dwayne, and really exciting. I have a bunch of questions that I was starting to write out, like when that information is coming out. You mentioned also political playoffs, and also you mentioned a platform to interview, and so I'm wondering what platform you're talking about, and yeah, I suppose take it however you want, because I have a bunch of questions and I can ask them later, I suppose, and formulate them better. It would be helpful.
I'd go ahead. I'm kind of in the background. What I'm doing right now is just using this account to go buy you guys some tools and send them to you. So yeah, shoot away on some questions, because I'm kind of trying to do two things at once.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Well, yeah, thanks for the tools. That's much appreciated. I'm looking forward to excavating some trillium at a higher rate than ever, I suppose, and other things I can do with Alien World that I've yet to learn, and I'm looking forward to. I suppose like the three questions I can ask that I kind of touched upon, but I can just ask more, I suppose, eloquently or just like concisely and making more sense. So one, I think you mentioned that the Alien Worlds like this month. You said it's good timing because the Alien Worlds new, I think you said new information is coming out from the Alien Worlds regarding the governance, and also that this is the first time that they're going to be able to be the I don't know, landowners or different governance of different planets are going to be able to use the trillium to put more weight behind the governance. I'm not sure if I'm misunderstanding that, and if that's a simple question, but I'd appreciate clarification about that and what news might be coming up from there, what changes are coming up. And then I was also curious, you said you're going to use a platform to interview leaders of different planets, I think, and different community leaders in Alien World. And so I was wondering, what platform are you referring to? You're referring to this video here, or Crown in general, or the Fractally meetings on Thursdays, or and then the third question was, I don't remember where the third question is. I suppose it'll come back to me.
Yeah, it's just my guess that we're going to see some news about governance soon. I know they've been working on it for a lot, and I don't have any inside scoop, just a premonition that it's coming up in weeks or a month. But I saw on their interface, what gave me a clue is that they've kind of dropped the old interface where to be a custodian of a planet, or I think they call it the Galactic Council, is that you had to stake 5,000 trillium of one of these planets tokens. So just back up for a second. When you have trillium, you can stake it to one of the 6 planets, and it turns it into that planet's token. So I've put up the flag and said I'm going to run for NERI. So I staked a bunch of my trillium there, and the benefits before the governance playoffs is that when you stake to a planet, it receives more of a drip or more of a allocation from the whole galactic. So there's the white paper really goes into the numbers, but the more people that stake to NERI, the more that NERI gets a pot of trillium to be allocated to miners. So that's a benefit now, but the benefit soon is that they're going to tie in the amount of stake you have into these planets as your voting weight. I'm guessing that just because these guys came from EOS DAC, and that's how they used, the EOS DAC governance, was it was weights token staked. So I just want to revisit and get ahead of 2 things. The first thing is get out to the alien worlds as much as I can by letting them know what we're doing in fractal governance. And I thought the best people to engage and let know what we're doing are the people that at one point signed up to be the leaders or the council members of these planets. So I thought it'd be another video series or meeting that I'd attach this overall Alien Worlds fractal group and just start putting in videos to try and attract more of the Alien Worlds crew to come over, but also get a sense of where the people, everyone has something they're going to do for their political playoffs. Like, what are you promising the citizens and the miners of NERI? Why should they vote for you? So there's a few people out there that already have reputation. You guys maybe heard David Harris that was at our Thursday governance meeting. He's part of a community called Alien Army, and they're very, very active in engaging their community on alien worlds. So, they've built up reputation. I'm not sure if they're put their hat in the ring for governance, but there's many communities like that have recognized people that have reputation. There's Michael of EOS USA that builds tools for a lot of these communities for us to drop rewards on worlds. So instead of me manually, we have a contest every day that randomly rewards someone for mining on our lands. We use Michael's tool. So I know that people know him and respect him, and he might be, his election promises might say, look at everything I've done for Alien Worlds. I'm building tools, vote me in and I'll continue making tools for the world, right? So I just thought it'd be a good time to ask. I kind of know who the leaders are. Ask them, bring up the governance conversation. Hopefully it's good timing and my timing's right, but they're going to be relaunching governance soon. And then really show them what we have over here and a way to introduce fractal governance and saying, would it be useful as a tool for your community to show them how you came to consensus by being transparent in an hour meeting with you and the other council members of how you've come up to consensus? Or would it be valuable for the community to give you a signal coming to a meeting to come to consensus of what they think you should do with the planet's funds? So just another way to help both communities, hopefully get more people engaged in alien worlds and understanding or talking or just thinking about governance. And then also for everyone that's participated in fractal governance, and in particular, you guys that come to this meeting and then come to our governance 1 hour meetup on Thursdays to be the leaders. We've gone through this process a few times and we've learned some best practices, or at least can moderate some of those meetings. So hopefully that answers your question. For the interviews, I thought of just spearheading and doing it, but it might be a nice playoff again to have somebody, 2 of us, that we can go back and forth for questions. So anyone wants to join me, I've just kind of percolated the idea, and maybe we have Dwayne and a different co-host. Just having a different perspective and different questions might be great. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much, Dwayne. I wrote some notes and I can reply, but also if Patrick or Doug want to say something first, that's cool. If not, well, Patrick, you sound like you're muted. Are you trying to say something?
Oh, sorry, what you say?
Oh, I was just saying I had some responses for Dwayne, but it kind of looked like you're trying to speak. So I just said that if you or Doug wanted to speak first, then feel free.
I was joining a little late, sorry. I was busy on other stuff, but I hope I have not totally missed. But yeah, Dan, you just spoke with Duane, if I am not wrong now, about about the DAO on Alien World, correct? That's that. And
Yeah, basically,
I have
we're talking about the governance.
Governance,
Alien
exactly.
Worlds.
That's what I am also interested to join those Alien Worlds, not only for that, but certainly also about because of that. And I have just put here what we said the last week, and it is into the compiled links on the Mighty Network into this Alien World fractal. And I have just taken your words of the last week. You said staking is currently twofold. It gives you DAO worlds tokens for the future governance leadership voting, and increase the TLM, so the Trillium pot for you to mine from, meaning more reward. So this functionality of staking, it's currently twofold, is already in place, or it is intended to come in place, or is it already? That's my question.
Yeah, the staking's been turned on from day one, but only one of the two functions has been live, and the main function right now is that it increases that planet's pot to then reward the miners for their mining with Trillium. And the second function of the governance of you know, to be active at all in governance, you're going to have a stake in one planet or many planets to be able to have a voice in the governance in that planet. And I don't work for Alien Worlds, and I don't really know their timing or how that's going to be set up. So I just kind of guessing that it might use the EOS DAX kind of path of software that we initially started using with Crown of being token gated. And there might be a different way, but I just know you know, that this fractally process could probably help facilitate that. And then your other question about being active in that voting process.
Yeah.
I do know that the playoffs of saying vote for me is going to be interesting. And what we've started is a group called Kinder Miners. And we're trying to rally our group to say, hey, we're going up for elections. Help us spread the word of why, you know, Dwayne would be a good person to be on, you know, in an elected position. So for me to be able to get into a position, I really need to rally the community, because I'm not as active in the Discord and their Telegram as much of other people. So this is a way for us to be recognized, and I think us helping with the governance process would help. But I think some of the things we've engaged on is, have you helped the community? Have you built some tools? Have you been consistent in staking to these planets? So I know when prices went up and down, a lot of people took their Trillium off these planets, And I
Yeah.
can show that Dwayne's been staked and had the #2 stake on Neri and has helped
Yeah.
whole
Uh-huh.
alien worlds by keeping a really high stake and keeping Neri, the planet Neri, with the most trillium, which means it's getting the most rewards to people. So that would be my kind of political playoffs of like, why Dwayne? And then I could say, hey, we've also, look, we ran these meetings and onboarded new people, and that we're really passionate about governance. And we have a tool over here that we can help people. So I think the real value for us coming from Fractally is to bring this community as the first metaverse game to start utilizing the Fractally process and really be able to help another dynamic layer, because the intent of this game was all about governance. I don't know the sentiment on the 100,000 or 500,000 players. How many of those really care at all about governance? They might,
Yeah.
if they
Yeah,
vote
sure.
in the wrong person, and in
Mhm.
6 months, that group did not think about, a longevity of the game. Say if those people were greedy and just said, vote for me, we'll lower taxes and give you guys all, welfare every day until the pot's dry. Maybe short-term players would vote for that, and then that world would die and have no more funds, and we just see a, extraction of value. So I think the community, because it's not everyone's hearts might be in the governance, some of them might just be into just mining and extracting value, that, I think there's a reason to have these bigger discussions of what does it mean to be in a position of governance. Two, what are long-term strategies to have a balance in this new crypto ecoverse or metaverse where
Yeah.
you continue growing the value instead of just extracting it? And I don't have all the answers to that, but it's just some questions to realize if the loudest voice in governance is free trillium for all, vote for me, just to have some more intelligent conversations of, is this your community? How are you invested? And what do we do collectively to build it? In Neri, I'd want to make sure that we'd have some devs that are building new tools on top of the game and not rely on the game to keep the momentum up and keep new people coming up, to keep the value of our world. I want us to layer in a bunch of whole new games. And I'm saying one of the new games that are probably the fairest allocation of tokens is come mine consensus. Come get us this discussion coming out of what we actually see as value in here, and spend an hour of your time. There's no pre-sale, there's no other way to get this Fractally token. Come over here to layer on this game. And once again, we're a minority, I think, in the people really passionate about governance. But since they're going down this path, I thought it's a nice way to couple these things together.
Thank you, Duan. That's very interesting process. What I want to maybe cold reaction on that, because I have to reflect afterward. But now, just into the momentum, that's very incredible. I see a link, clear link, with what we are living into Eden on EOS, because here we see voting will be initially used toward electing planetary councillors, and these planetary councillors of their planet, this planetary councillor could be compared in a way like the Eden Shift delegates into Eden on EOS. We elect them because they are testifying their intent. They will say what they will do. I will never elect someone that I don't know what he will do. So he has to say which value he will give. Here it's on the planets, and into Eden on EOS, it's about circles, because you have circles into Eden on EOS. And the beauty with Eden Fractal, just to make a parallel, with Eden Fractal, you are empowering the Eden on EOS members, contributors, the people that want to really do projects, proposals. And here with the alien fractal world, with this DAO, that's comparable, but it's into the gaming world. But the ideas are the same. I don't know. I see that really matching with matching about the process in a way, and that's very interesting. No, maybe not all people are interested about to see voting, and they are coming into this game to mine their trillium, and they don't expect to be to vote for elect the planetary councilors. Like on Eden, you are going into Eden because you want to be a good member, you want to contribute. Maybe you will reach delegate level 1, and then you will go to Eden Fractal. I speak for myself. I want to contribute in this way. To be elected as a chief delegate, that's, or here on planetary councilor, that's another level of responsibility. Because if you are a planetary councilor, what is the oh, that's a question indeed. What are the tasks of a planetary councilor? What they have to okay, they will control the planetary trillium allocation in addition to other leadership function. So what are the other leadership function of planetary councilors? Sorry, I am a little bit brainstorming.
That's a good question, and I know the pathway to. I was thinking the same thing before we had Fractally was, hey, we need to know who people are, right? Because there is a way that if you're smart enough, you can have a bot network and mine Trillium and extract more value that might not be fair. So how do we make sure that the governance isn't mined? How do we make sure that we don't get a whole bot army to just vote for one person? So being verified, you know, for instance, like we do on Eden, would be one way. I just know that I've kind of put that forward, and I don't think that's a pathway, the easiest pathway for this wax community. So I'm kind of thinking that's the in between of you know, this fractally method, because it's a little bit chain agnostic. You know what I mean? There's, you know, I just sense that it's going to be maybe an easier in between path of having something like these fractally meetings, sort of in between, you know, that hard, you know, multi-step go through Eden, and then we don't have a way to bridge that EOS to wax. So I thought this would be the easier path to do that. So I completely agree with you, Patrick, that, you know, with that sort of statement, and that's why I kind of thought maybe I'll kick it off with some, you know, videos of interviewing people so they can on video start saying what they're pledging to, and then have a reoccurring governance session, and then the end result hopefully is these people saying, you know, I think we could really utilize a tool to get, you know, at least a feeling from our community about how many people are into consensus by using the fractally process. But yeah, I agree with you. The as it matures, it's going to be a very fuzzy start, like anything. But as it matures, you know, say the first round or two, I would expect that the core group of Alien Worlds isn't just handing the keys over to planets with millions of dollars at stake to start with, right? I'm pretty sure that it's going to be a gradual plan. And the other responsibilities, and the question you asked about what are the other, you know, management or responsibilities as somebody that's been elected in, I'm sure they'll gradually step up, just looking at how they've gradually stepped everything else up in their game and kind of made you, you know, blend up or do enough gameplay to get higher rewards. I'm sure there's going to be that kind of learning curve, because it's going to be a learning curve for their whole community of what, you know, what is a value to the network. And then the harder questions, if it's up to us to create value in the game, what should we be doing? Right. And my thoughts were, let's get some devs, let's build new games, let's get all these other people that right now want to build a new metaverse, but don't have millions of dollars. Let's get them to join an enterprise that has put all the scaffolding on, that's saying, here, please build something new. Do you want a new planet? Do you want a new gamification? Do you want to bridge over to a 3D world? Do you want to bridge to a VR world? Do you want to, so I think the most exciting part about all this is there's values are aligned with probably three communities: the core team building alien worlds, the players, and then governance. Because in the long run, everyone wants this to have some value. Everyone wants to be part of something. And then we need a way to make decisions. So, so I just see a nice crossroads. And then everybody else is thinking NFTs and gaming's the future. I think a lot of people are going to have the same questions of who's in charge, who's controlling the private keys. If these people disappear, does the game continue? Is it really decentralized? They say that I'm part of this world because I have some virtual land or a virtual game piece. Am I really? So I think it's a good timing to start this whole adventure.
Really? Yeah. Oh, nice.
Hey, my reading glasses aren't on right now. Patrick and Dan, could you I know I should have it. We just have too many windows up. Could you text your wax address in the Zoom, and I'll get you guys a new game piece here.
Oh, you're muted then.
Thank you, Patrick. And yeah, sure, Dwayne. I was just asking for clarification. I'll send the Wax Cloud address. I used to play the game, correct?
Yeah, the one you're using to play the game, for sure.
Okay, cool.
You want my wax address, do you have?
Yeah, I'm going to send out. I sent you a second tool to mine.
A second tool.
Because you participated last time, and now I'm going to send a third one. And the experiment between now and next meeting is
I have put into the Zoom here.
Okay.
Yeah, ZNFO. Yeah,
perfect.
Very easy.
The experiment's going to be to see if we start getting those NFT points.
Have you already spoke about the L2, L Liberty dollar?
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, very interesting that was. To be honest, I have not bought one. That was a little bit expensive for me. I have not enough wax into my wallet, but I was participating. I was there. Felix also was there. Dan also. Yeah, it was nice. Doug, I don't know if you were there into the L2 token, L2 Liberty token.
What about
distribution. That was an airdrop on.
I heard about it, but I missed it. I'm afraid of it.
I was at the point to miss also, and I was in, but I have only understood at the end that was 800 wax, so $75 to buy this beautiful piece of silver, and I was not able to buy, but I was there to understand the process, and very interesting.
Yeah, the rewards for participating in our Thursday meeting, for our consensus meeting, I'm going to be backing up the NFTs with to start with Trillium, and to get the Trillium out of the NFT, you would have to burn the NFT. And I thought the cool thing with that is a participation gift NFT is that we could have a burn leaderboard. So, to commemorate that you actually participated, burning it shows that, hey, it's always there. It's not in your wallet, but it kind of gets around if we start growing and you sell your NFT, someone else has it. It's not really just having that participation NFT in your wallet doesn't necessarily mean you went to the meeting. If you were the first receiver of the NFT, great. But I thought the mechanics of burning or blending, you will be able to blend, say, 5 of these NFTs back with Trillium, then to blend to get an NFT back with silver. So, and it's going to be interesting. The rankings or the level that the community has come to consensus, after our meeting, to say, hey, you were the top level, you contributed the most. You'll be getting a NFT that has a red background to say this is a mythical NFT, and you'll only be able to blend that rarity of NFTs to get a mythical silver one. So it kind of hopefully engages people to keep coming back to collect that same rarity to get a NFT back with silver. So yeah, there's some interesting dynamics there. And then the third action you could do with that we don't have set up yet is staking. If we wanted the community to back the intent of building, of doing something, backing some value here. I know without thinking about nonprofit associations and the legality of staking and everything else, but just a sort of signal that, that would be one other action that, that we could do with that backed NFT is we could stake it to something. So some pretty exciting stuff. That initial drop, because it had a hallmark on it, was $75 for an ounce. But if you kind of look in the market, if you just buy a silver dollar, from somebody else and get it sent to you, their normal Liberty dollar is about $50. So I'm not going to be backing.
Oh, it's correct, the price.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I'm not going to be backing our tokens with the limited edition one, just the normal $50 piece of silver. And then thankfully we can do increments. So the rewards, you start in like 0.1 of an ounce. So kind of $5 increments that we can back our NFTs with.
Yeah, Doug dropped some interesting links. The first one about Japanese recognizing the Alien World game, very interesting. Second article about the Kunz, the L2 Liberty Dollar token, and finally the Kunzil Alien World. Yeah, that's beautiful game, this Alien World. I think there is a lot of. What do you think about the last Thursday call that we had with one of with the founder of the L2 Liberty to coin is the son of his dad. Sure, he's the son of his dad. Yeah. So his dad was it was indeed 15 years ago already the instigator of all that, and he has taking advantage of the inherit of that and continue the. What you think, Duane? L2 token with Alien World.
I think his market timing is incredible. You know what I mean? I think you're going to see a lot of people resonate with backing their collections of NFTs with, a precious metal. They've done all the right work. You know what I mean? Like, I wish we taped him talking because he hasn't talked that much or been on camera for a lot of the Crown meetings. He's been a little bit more quiet. So it's really nice to see him so passionate. But just the protections for the consumer in this case, very hard times for his family, setting the precedent all those years ago and having to go to court and his father, all that. But really the precedent out of that court case was someone getting this NFT back with silver. That's a receipt, and their company can go away, and the law is showing that receipt, that ounce of silver is still mine. So I really appreciate that we have someone that has those long-lasting relationship, that's not a brand new person in the industry, that has that silver backed in the biggest vault, that does billions of dollars with the US government. I like that the process of auditing that silver, there's a multi-sig that you don't have to trust his company, that the auditor signed off that the silver's there. And just the timing of having something a little bit more stable in a market that seems just to free fall whenever the big tokens fall seems really incredible. And then it's also a nice counter argument to everyone saying, well, these JPEGs on the blockchain aren't worth anything, they're just art. Well, you know, having now backing them and giving them a floor price when things fall out kind of helps us all out as well. So yeah, I'm very impressed. I have known Extra for, well, since I've been into EOS, so it's been about three years, and he's been part of the community. So if this was a brand new person and they had all that, I'd be like you guys should be, do some little bit of due diligence as well. So don't take my word from it, but I just feel fortunate that we've had a chance to build a relationship and know them, and know that you know, they put a lot of thought and thinking into this. Also really exciting that he's got a really good developer that's been with his dad and the company for just such a long time, right? So so yeah, pretty exciting. I think the silver crossover into these mining worlds and stuff is just, you know, it's you know, it's perfect. Yeah. All right, you guys just got rained down on like some big like, you know, rock star tools. Like you just came, yeah. So
I will check. I have not checked yet.
So each of you should have 3 tools now to mine with. So you've kind of filled up your tool chest, and which means that the time between mining should be just not seconds and minutes. It should be a bit longer. And then the test for next week is to see, do those 3 tools like Doug showed, you know, that he wasn't earning any of those NFT points. Let's see if that starts earning you NFT points. And then next week, I'll go into what all these little numbers on all the cards and all the planets mean. And I'll be a little bit more prepared just to even refresh my memory, because there's a lot of work that goes out there as a miner to see what tools you have and make sure you're extracting the right amount of Trillium or NFTs based on the cards in the land. So it can get complicated if you start getting a collection of cards to know what's going to bring my, you know, my Trillium chest the most Trillium, or in the new case, the most NFTs.
Okay, I'm lost. I have to go into Alien World. Sorry. Can you just put the link, because I have put myself a compiled links and now I don't find the links. That's incredible. Yeah, share the screen. Yeah, better. Yeah. Yeah, play alienworld.io. Yeah, exactly.
You say we should have 3 tools, Wayne? So far I only see 2.
To see the tools.
Okay, I'll just check if everyone got
inventory, I think.
Yeah, I might have missed sending you one from last meeting. So that's I'll check after the meeting, and if so, I'll get you another one here as well. I sent out some exo gloves the first round, so if you were missed, I'll get you one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have a standard shovel and I have a power extractor.
Okay, yeah, I guess.
And I also have a male human, but I don't think that he's going to be digging with the hands.
Right. Yeah, these are just using tools.
Okay. But where we see the switch tools. Okay. Oh, sorry. You send us tools into our WAM, so WAX account, the non-custodian one, correct? Oh, you are muted.
Yep.
It'll show you.
You send it to the WAX account.
So sorry. You send us tools into our WAX account, and this WAX account that we use is the non-custodian one, correct?
Yep, it's a Wax Cloud wallet.
So the Wax Cloud wallet, voila. And to see those tools, we go into Play Alien World, we log in, and we click switch tools to see them, or correct?
Also inventory too.
Or there is another way to see them, those tools.
on the left side, it says inventory. I don't know what the difference between the inventory and switch tools buttons is,
Oh,
but if you hit inventory, it shows you tools as well, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay, and then we have to use this tool into the game, and to use them, we. Okay. Okay, so to use them, we use.
Yeah, and to
Okay.
use them, if you're on the inventory button, like Dan mentioned, then you could just press the tool and it'll.
Ah, voilà.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have to play a little bit. I have not. So to be honest, I have more read the DAO and to understand the things, but I have not really take time to play with. I don't want to full respect to you, but to be honest, a lot of things are going into a parallel, and I have to take some time into the game.
And
Yeah,
that's the reason for this meeting, is just to get you on there, because we're all busy with a lot of our stuff. So once this is set up, you can kind of, your setup is set up, and then the only thing you would do is, just pressing the mine button for now. So
sure. Nice.
So you can have multiple tools and use at the same time?
Yeah, up to three at a time.
Okay, so when I hit mine, then I'll mine with both the power extractor and the standard shovel at the same time?
Exactly.
Okay, sweet.
So, yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Dan.
Well,
sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't know how long we're gonna do this meeting for. I remember last time, I think Dwayne said he was gonna try to keep it somewhere around an hour where we're close to. I'm happy to talk for longer, and I had like, I don't know, 6 or 7 things written down that Dwayne said, or maybe there's something that Patrick said that inspired me to write something. And so I'd like to bring those up at some point, either now or later in the meeting or next meeting or something like that. I'm very interested in the things that were discussed.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds great. I can go for a little longer here as well.
And the cool part, middle August is near the door. We will have the interview, and until there, that's give room to understand more, to be able to do a nice breakdown interview, coverage interview on Alien World with these aspects of DAO and all this stuff. So Dan and me, we will be ready for this interview like this. That's nice, because we are participating into this Alien World Fractal. That's nice. Yeah. I want also to be short, and yeah, we are still fast 1 hour. Yeah, sure. And yeah.
Okay.
I was joining late today.
Yes, it sounds good, Patrick. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the interview. But if I may, if Dwayne has more time and everybody's cool sticking around, so like there's a few different things that were mentioned. I suppose I can just give like a preview, or I don't know, just see how it goes. There's a lot here, but first, I was wondering, Dwayne, what you meant exactly by political playoff. I know you use that term a few different times. And I was wondering if you use that like political playoff, like people think of it in Eden, with like kind of like the fractal, like political playoff, like a playoff system like a sports, or if you meant that in like a different kind of design. You also mentioned too that I think you said something about like throwing the idea out of perhaps us like helping to co-host like some interviews or playing some role in interviews, and I would love to help with that. I don't know a huge amount about Alien Worlds, obviously, but I'm very interested in what's going on here and I'm very excited to learn, and would be really cool to help however would be helpful, and also meet the different people doing different governance roles in Alien World. So yeah, I'd be happy to talk more about that and help however I can with that. And then also
I'll pause you for a second just to respond to those two. Political playoffs, it's just language I'm adopting from the groups that I've been in, and I think it would be a nice, I can see title come in on a video series of Alien Worlds playoffs. So
Yeah.
I think we just, adopt this. And I think having a co-host that's, if I'll try and remain neutral, but have someone like yourself come in and it's perfect that you're not right into the nitty gritty of the game or the politics or even who the people are, to be in just another nice voice of keeping the flow going through the video. And we can have a kind of a little couple of scripts of predetermined questions, but just a kind of nice, hey, welcome to this week's political playoffs. We're now talking to Michael of EOS USA. Michael, we hear you're putting your hat in the ring to be a counselor on Alien Worlds. Why do you think people are going to vote for you, and what are you promising for this year? And we just kind of start pulling it out and keep it concise. If we can get away with not having to do much post-production and can kind of just put an intro screen and go on it, so it's not taking a lot of our time for that stuff, it would be great to kind of show some transparency that even the stumbles and the flaws and stuff are up there. So that would be just my first guesses of what what we could do. Yeah, and then I just think it would be a nice way to bring people to our channel from Alien Worlds are talking about governance, and just a nice leeway into, hey, leave them all with, have you heard of fractal governance? And then just let that sit and resonate, and then we have them on again and going, hey, can we show you this tool? So just kind of a stepping stone to hopefully show that fractal governance will help these people out in their governance adventures in Alien Worlds.
Cool. Yeah, sounds amazing. Thank you for the detailed response on all these plans too. It seems like you've thought this out really well, and it all sounds super exciting, and it sounds like it'll work out to help both the Alien Worlds and the fractal communities and everybody in general very much. So, and I like the synergies between it all too. When you said channel, did you mean like, do you have a channel for like Alien Worlds and stuff, or is this with Crown or Kinder Miners or a new channel, or?
We put our Kinder Miners videos on Crown, and because I've kind of adopted the Crown first hour of our Crown weekly call, we don't have a lot of action there. There's maybe 170 people that are part of the channel, but I thought let's keep that up instead of managing a bunch of channels. But I think to answer your question, the more channels this is on, so that's just the only channel I control, so I'd put it there, but I'd be up to starting a new channel, piggybacking on the different YouTube channels and places that you guys are active on. So yeah, all of the above, I guess. I think I'd start it there. I'm not sure if starting a completely new channel for this is relevant, but maybe it is, maybe just a completely separate than our own kind of entities where we've come from. That might be appropriate as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see a lot of synergies because Nova Crypto YouTube channel, I have playlists. I can create a new playlist, Alien World. I put there all the video about Alien World, all the videos that I will do. The first one with with Dancing Joy, that we will co-host. And the idea also to create a mind map, a web mind map with all the links in a nice Alien World mind map with a nice animation into the center, because now the mind map I am able to do into the center, a beautiful GIF animated, and on the top of the mind map, a nice button to play music during that you dive into the mind map. I can do a lot of stuff. That's not just mind maps. That's already beautiful, the mind maps, but now integration on the top of the mind map with a nice header and all. And the cool part, pointing to every data source that is speaking about Alien World. The point is, you don't need to do a special channel for Alien World. We can do every 1 hour videos or every 1 hour content, let's say, and then you.
Patrick? And then you froze?
The portals need some powering up.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess I'll jump in. I suppose Patrick will be back soon, unless you want to respond to it. Although he's not here, so I don't know if responding makes sense. Wait until he comes back.
Yeah, wait till he comes back here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, but yeah, Patrick was saying some cool stuff, which I'll save for when he comes back, and then until he's back. Patrick,
Sorry, I was frozen. Yeah, sorry.
yes.
No,
Okay.
I was just thinking that I was preaching my stuff, but indeed, that's not that. It's to say that we have to be very collaborative. And I am referring to the call of yesterday night. That was an epic one of the by-wire town hall yesterday night, where you were also Dan, where you were also Jane, Chris Barnes, and others. So I am still into this mode of collaboration, collaborative circles, and all that. And what we are doing here, we are doing that. That's just incredible. Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. So yeah, Patrick, I'm stoked about the mind map thing with the visuals and the audios and so forth. I think that could be really cool and really helpful for the Alien Worlds communities too. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing more progress, talking more about that in the future. And then as far as the channel, one thing I just wanted to ask you clarification. The channel that you kept referring to when you're saying there, and this channel, was it the Kinder Miners channel? Is like the channel where you're planning to focus on that mostly, or the Crown channel? Or did I misunderstand that?
The Crown channel, even the
Okay.
Kinder Miners videos, we've done a few, were posted to the Crown channel, the Crown YouTube channel.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I checked out the Crown YouTube channel for a while. A couple months ago, I was looking through a lot of videos, and you guys have a lot of really cool videos there. So sounds cool. And I've also, well, I posted the last introductory video, well, the first one we did last week. I posted that on the new Eden Creators YouTube channel I just started. And then I was also planning on doing this one there as well. And then I uploaded the ones from the actual fractal meeting, but I kept them unlisted because I just don't want to publish people's stuff if they're not sure about it and stuff like that, like too widely. But it's still unlisted. But then these I made public, and so I was also just curious about your opinion on that too. I guess like posting the content in several places. I feel like that's a good idea to post it there as well and help promote it with the Eden creators, even though it's small now, but help build up the catalog and stuff like that.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
I'm glad, Doug, I'm just going to share my screen. I'm glad you brought up that council.alien world. I'm just going to bring that up to show you who is, yeah, just let me put this up 1 second here.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, so more questions.
This is who we're going to target for interviews. So this is the council.alien worlds. David said this is an older system that they're changing. So I'm still super glad that this is up, because I'm going to go into all of these profiles and find these people and reach out to interview them. And this Planetary Council little interface has been up for over 1.5 years. So there might be a list of, maybe 34 Hustle. I might not find him. He has nothing on his candidate list. He might not be, putting his name in the candidacy, but Lisa Chandler, we know her from Crown, see if she is. We have Coleman, he's up, he's going to be, it looks like he has his hat in the ring. We have Good Vibes Mining, that had a nice tool to bring people together to mine into teams, and I'll see if they're still active. But they've got their little pitch. Why would they want to? Why should we vote for them? So these would be our candidates for the political playoff little series. So I'll scrape this and start reaching out to people. I'll start with the people that I know. Anders, is a pretty big wax, has a
Anders.
Yeah. So I'll reach out to him. So just to be transparent in my thinking to these candidates that I'm reaching out to, I'm going to reach out to the people that have the most voice right now in the community. You know, who's the most active in their Twitter, in their Telegram, and in Discord. And
the right bottom one, I know him
okay.
with the glasses and,
Oh,
and the
Jeff?
hat.
Yeah, with Jeff's part of Crown.
Jeff Daub, yeah. We were into the
We got
Telegram.
Crypto Stash, you know what I mean? He's got a big channel and is part of a lot of things. So we'll see if he's still interested. Big Mike has a big following.
Okay.
Ken
Michael
Bozak. Oh, we got
Fiosios.
Ken Bozak put his hat in the ring. So that's interesting.
Wow.
I never knew that. So interview Ken Bozak and see what kind of, you know, if we're part of the Ken Bozak tribe, what's the preconditions to that meeting? I think it's probably a couple bowls. That's fun.
There are some known names here.
Yeah.
Great.
Do you know, is there only going to be one like planetary counselor per planet, or is there multiple like positions on each planet?
The early dialogue seemed to sense that there'd be a smaller group of 3 to 5 people. I don't know. We won't really know till any of that stuff's released, but I'm guessing that would start with just one council, and that just guessing that it would be tied into, you know, my stake. If I have stake in Neri, then I have, you know, I can vote somehow for these people. Yeah.
Okay.
I really don't know how big that council is going to be. I'm just throwing those numbers out there of 3 to 5. Maybe it's bigger. And then, you know, back to your initial question, Patrick, what roles and what responsibilities do they have? We'll see what's, you know, what the game provides. I really don't know just yet, but I know the end goal over years would be, you know, really in charge of this planet and probably in charge of its, you know, pot of trillium or something like that.
If I have a mind map to create for Alien World, that will be a mind map with all the councilors that I have seen into this page and put that nicely into my map named Alien World Councilors or something like that. I am thinking about. We will do a fantastic thing. That will be nice. So, next meeting on Thursday, the fractal one.
Yeah, and I've just reached out to Cone Man. He offered to help walk me through making a collection, and then with the team behind LD2. So if everything goes as planned, I'll have some new NFTs backed by Trillium for us. And once again, that's just kind of laying down a path that maybe other people could follow for rewarding people for participating in governance or participating in a meeting, and taking a lot of cues from the people that have done this for a long time, like the US Nation, their pop token and their pomelo blending and stuff like that. So yeah, see what we can do. I'm just learning that for myself to start with, but I really like to see, if successful, me taking a couple steps back from leading the whole alien world thing, and then hopefully my gauge of success, or that other people like Dan, you just mentioned, like to help in some videos, and Patrick, that, you know, to make this kind of portal between metaverses and fractal governments, that their team kind of, you know, there's a team and a community that's, you know, starting to become passionate about it. And then we'll start looking at the you know, the natural progressions of what's a community then, and then me giving up the keys to the account I started, so it's a multi-sig, and all those different things. You know, we could put a kind of a gauge on how that works, because right now I'm the sole owner of or sole controller of fractal.moon, the account that's giving out rewards. I'm creating collections. And that's just to instigate it to get something done, but it's my
there are no msig on this fractal moon.
No, and I think we just put a number in there to kind of gauge, you know, when is it enough interest and people want to take that extra step of responsibility to take that over as a community. And I've kind of planned that from day one, that it's not Dwayne's collection or Dwayne's account, that I've been able to get a Crown proposal to put some Crown into the account. And right now I am funding the Trillium that's going in there. But I'm going to, if successful, I put in a grant into Alien Worlds to get 100,000 Trillium. 1 second. And what I would do is I would use if that grant comes in, I'd use some of that to repay me for fronting the cost on this. I'm not looking at getting paid, but for the Trillium that's coming out of my pocket to back these NFTs, I would look just to get that paid back, and all the Trillium that comes to the grant should be just paid for attendance for these attendance NFTs. So that's kind of my
have you a Pomelo grant?
Pomelo grant. I'm going to do it. My 2 kind of responsibilities is this group, and then also the EOS Translation Foundation. So my Pomelo is going to go more in the direction of the Translation Foundation.
Yeah. I have some. I say nothing here, but this Saturday I have a big announcement because I want to share. You know, I am not the guy to take the funds for myself, so I want to use the funds for beautiful initiatives.
Thanks. That's exciting.
Because after that, if each of us we do that, after that we can expect maybe some fruits coming. But yeah, we'll see. So gradually we will go. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
Ben, do you have any more questions?
You're asking me, Dwayne? Yeah, I mean, there's lots of things that we discussed that that would be helpful to have more clarification at some point. And I suppose, well, two questions is like, as far as these doing the interviews and stuff like that, I'm wondering just if you, well, actually, one question that's generally about timelines. I'm wondering if you have a timeline about when you're planning to start to do the interviews and stuff. And then also, I noticed that you were in the running for the Neri planet. I think you mentioned that you're running to be a planetary counselor. So I'm wondering when both the interviews and when the actual running for the planetary counselor will begin, or is that the thing that you think that will happen soon in the next few weeks, but it won't, but you're not sure yet?
Yeah, I guess it could be as soon as a few weeks or probably as long as a couple months. We haven't seen a real indication publicly. I just heard like in the beginning of this year that it was on their roadmap and it's coming out, should be coming out this year. So I guess the worst case would be 6 months from now. And earliest case, maybe a few weeks. I'm just anticipating, you know, they've been to a lot of conferences and a lot of talk around DAOs and DACs. So just looking at their roadmap, I know it's coming out sometime. So I think the timing is to kind of start letting people start doing this so we can have enough of this information, enough people interviewed before the fractally launch, so that we can show people that, you know, there's something over here as well. So what's the timeline on that? Once again, we kind of are guessing as well. So maybe everything will culminate into, say, September, right?
You know what? We have the interview published on August 23rd. Then on September 23rd, 24, there is the launch of the Mandel upgrade. At the same time, there will be Yield Plus EVM that have to be aligned and launched on the same period, October. And Fractally will be ready on end of Q3, beginning of Q4, maybe. So that's give time, because we begin with an interview that will be not the last one. We will do different updates. I speak for myself. I want to do different updates of Alien World Metaverse, if we can say like that. Alien World Metaverse.
Yeah.
And co-hosting that more with Dan Sinjoy. That's my plan. Dan to co-host more with Dan Sinjoy, because that's give a good balance in the interview. I saw that when I interviewed Dan and Felix. That was like we were 3 interviewers into the same interview. That was nice. And yeah, that's okay. We go gradually, we will see. And
then
just do action that are realistic.
And I'm thinking I'm going to start reaching out to the people that I know to start with, that I know that'll respond, because it might be to get Stash and Anders.
Yes.
I'm not on a first name basis with them. They know me maybe as a block producer, but I know I can kind of twist the arm of some other people. Like, come on, Michael, give me an interview. So I said I want to start with the influencers, but I might have to work up to say, hey, look, these other people have started it. So I guess if I get a response, I could start as soon as this week. If we had an announcement in a week or two that there's 4 weeks leading up to elections, and then there's elections all of a sudden, then maybe the pace would be a little bit faster, that we try and get a few more people, maybe 2 people a week to do some interviews. I think it's going to be just fly by the seat of my pants to start with, to really accommodate their schedule to start with. So I don't think I can start really with a hard fixed schedule saying Wednesdays at 1600, because I'm the one really wanting these interviews. They're not coming to me, so I'm thinking I'm going to have to start with just seeing when everyone's available. So yeah, I'll start reaching out, and then I'll just kind of message you guys and see what works for you, and just kind of try and be agile to start with. Yeah, and then ideally we have enough people that we have a whole group of people that do want to be interviewed, because the elections are coming up. Then they can kind of more fit our schedules, and we can have more of a set time.
Sure.
Yeah, cool. Sounds great, Dwayne. Sounds really awesome, and thank you for the information. And then please feel free to reach out whenever there's anything I can do to help, or if you want to discuss any of this or schedule anything. And I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Patrick, as well. And also looking forward to doing more interviews with you, Patrick, too, as well. And then I don't know if we want to keep talking about this. There's one other thing that I wanted to ask to one other kind of different topic as well. Should I ask that, or do we have more thoughts about this? Or okay. Actually, again, it might be just 2 questions, but this first one's really quick. So it seems like governance was launched previously for Alien Worlds, but now it's relaunching, I think you said, and they had that portal built, but it wasn't really being used. Is that a correct summary? That because they started planning for governance with EO Stack, but then governance kind of took more of a back seat, and they kind of disabled the features because of the bots, and now they're enabling again. I don't know if I'm understanding that correctly. Is that sort of correct, or?
Nothing has really been disabled. I just know when David Albion was part of our meeting, he said that link that Doug put up, council.alienworlds, that it's going to be replaced with their new version of for governance, and he alluded to sometime soon. So I'm just taking some cues from David that works with Alien Worlds, that there might be something happening in governance. So I don't think he's at liberty to tell anything more than that, and I'm just guessing. But I applied for a council member very early on, and sent them 5,000 Trillium that is staked to have my picture up on that little council thing. So I don't know if a lot of those people did it at the same time. That would be probably last spring, if not sooner. So I just don't know if a lot of people are still even interested in that, because I think he alluded to that it was not as easy to get your stake back, and that the new system would be able to, if I wanted to unregister, I can get my 5,000 Trillium back.
Okay,
And
Cool.
so the only functionality up to this point was putting your hat in the ring, staking your Trillium and putting your profile on that council page. And then I think this next system that they're developing will extend those features of, being able to vote, probably have some sort of timeline that when the voting starts, when does it end? And I'm sure that we're not the only people thinking of, a platform to hear, who's, to give a platform to listen to who's coming to vote. So hopefully there will be others that are doing similar things, because I'm sure the community is going to want to hear, like, if these people already have a channel, I'm sure they're going to do their own video of like, vote for me, this is why, right? And then
Sure.
I'm sure they're going to be using all the all the social networks they can to say, hey, look, Alien Army, I've supported you. We have 1,000 strong. Go stake, vote for us. We want to make, Alien Army the best in the world, and we're not going to forget about our community, right? It's because that's what I'm going to do for Kinder Miners, is remind them of all the value we've brought to Alien Worlds and what we've brought to them and things like that. So yeah, we'll just be another platform to do that with a slightly different maybe objective of going, hey, we have experience in governance and we have some new tools to try out that might help the process.
Totally.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks so much, Dwayne, for that answer, and sounds excellent. And then there's one other question, and I don't know if Patrick wants to say something first, or should I jump into the question?
Nothing. You can go.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, and so the last topic, which is kind of a different topic that you briefly mentioned, just regarding like the stuff that Dan wrote in the most recent article, Fractally, about DAOs and legal status of DAOs, and then the discussion that we had at the end of the last Fractally meeting. I was wondering if you had like thoughts about that, or if you thought about that much with regard to the Alien Worlds fractal. I'm also not sure if it gets complicated, like with say like embedding like the silver in LD2 or from LD2 in terms of like giving things away. But then, well, yeah, I don't know. I'm still thinking about that very much with the Eden fractal, and I feel like for all fractals, it's helpful to take these into consideration, what Dan's saying. But yeah, I'm just curious if you have thoughts about that for what we're working on here with the Alien Worlds fractal, and I guess Alien Worlds in general maybe too.
Oh, it's huge. It's funny, the timing right before Dan's announcement and the non-profit association and the whole explanation of you're either a partnership, even if it's not written, and if you're part of some group that you can be liable, versus this nonprofit. The night before, I put up a whole new wording. I thought, how do we bridge value? How do from this game where we feel we own some land, where we feel that we own some tokens, and that's the value that we've created, a whole DAO where we can all participate in co-ownership of something. So I'm like, all right, well, let's signal if we're successful, maybe one of the things we do, instead of just mining consensus and coming together and doing a consensus process for an hour, we have these unused assets, all these different NFTs over in Alien Worlds. I know that those people would love to put them to use. Could we put them over here and stake them? Could we put them over here and stake them and back them with tokens to signal to the Fractally group that's not even started yet that our group has value, monetary value? I wrote it all up, posted it, went to Dan's meeting, erased it all. Realized, there's a lot to consider here. And as much as the group wants to put these NFTs into play, and I know the gamification and mindset, this is perfect. It's like, oh shit, I can't, I'm now one person controlling a key. Where would people stake this? Because staking doesn't keep your assets in your wallet. It sends it to another, a wallet address that has a multi-sig. What are those people putting themselves at risk at? What are we really not trying to do? Are we trying to show that we have all this monetary in dollar figure over here in this game, so that it's going to
Yeah.
make our token over on Fractally look more valuable. And then I realized I don't even know what that looks like on the Fractally thing. Like, this whole staking for 20 weeks and it's only an opinion, and we're trying to use opinion language and all this language to not even come close to an asset or value. And it's like, I'm going to leave this alone for a bit until I can, so my thoughts now are, let's stick with the narrative. Let's stick with the people that have had more money than I have ever had, and more experience in the legal things, all the way from Block One to all these other groups. And let's just follow that side on the Go Fractally, and this side, let's just keep it simple. Leave the assets, like the Coco and Alien Worlds, they got whole legal teams. They've got to be careful playing between the metaverse and this. I now just realize, just label stuff as a gift. This is coming as a gift for people to participate in governance, and things will be clear from more intelligent people, and that I should stop trying to figure this out. What's my
But-
thing. I love it so much though, because I think I've got something like, man, if we stake this and then you realize, oh God, I don't know enough, and it hurts my brain to even start getting into the really deep. So.
Yeah. But Duane, we don't know exactly yet how the things will play out. So what I want to say, indeed, it's not because what we don't know how the things will play out that we don't have to do something. We have to do. And the only things that is, I would say, no one that we know, it's about those msigs. So if we can do not from the very beginning, but not wait too much to have some msigs on the accounts to distribute the liability to distribute the liability, decrease minimize the liability, and maximize the decentralization in a way, the distribution. So that's because that we know that works. The permissions on EOS.io, that's very powerful. Hidden Fractal, Dan St. John has made a good msig. I am happy with that. And if we do that, at least we minimize the liability for us, and we maximize the distribution of the data. And maybe among the paths, during the road, maybe by improving with the Genesis Fractal, with Daniel Larimer and all the Fractally team, maybe they will come other stuff that we don't even imagine now about the regulation, about all this stuff, because the DAO now is not yet in Texas. They have to do that. So, and you see the article written by Daniel Larimer, the last one. He said at the end, all what I have written into this article, maybe this is totally wrong. Maybe this is he don't know himself. He put his rationality into this article because he's a very rational guy. So he put his rational things into, but that's not even true. So, and yeah, okay.
Well, I appreciate that, because if we're being a show and tell on how other people say, let's limit it to one limit, say wax, right? Wax games, wax communities. And if our consensus meeting for this Alien World Fractal is about coming to consensus on who's going to be on the multi-sig for that week, I know it's a little bit more narrow scope, but I'm trying to think of what are we really trying to bridge and show these communities that, have security, governance, and all these things at stake because they have shared assets and a group and a community. That might be one thing that we can switch it up, because I'm seeing we're not getting as many. We'll see this week. I'm trying to put ourselves out there to get more of the Alien Worlds community over to us. But if it's us as more of governance people, that would be a nice exercise for someone to look back in the videos or see what's
Totally.
why are we
Totally
doing this
agree.
consensus. Is just that, hey, one of the huge problems with the DAC is that trying to get people to sign an msig and how to replace those people. And if it's weighted token, we have custodians still on our multi-sig from Crown DAC that were the initial custodians back in 2018. There's been votes, people have so many Crown that haven't liquidated, that have stuck those people in and they're no longer active. So one of the downfalls of a multi-sig is, are the whole people part of the multi-sig, are they active? Will they come out and vote? So this could be a process just for us to come together for that week, what's your job? Come to consensus of who's respected enough in the community to hold a key to the multi-sig to give out the weekly rewards, right? And
Yes.
that's scalable to the small group, all these groups that are feeding into Alien Worlds, to an Alien Worlds group, to all these bigger games as well. So that could be maybe we can be agile in our, where we
Oh, sure.
put our energy for this weekly consensus meeting. And I agree, that might be something super worthwhile, because it is daunting sometimes just to even get that process started of a multi-sig. So if we can even, that's part of the value we're providing, is showing that process. So there's some good thoughts there, and it's easy to get overwhelmed when you try and think of how these things all come together. So I'm glad, Patrick, you brought it back to logical steps of that, what we can do right now, and that makes a lot of sense.
The strange thing, you cannot say, I do that first, I do that second, I do that third, I do that fourth. You have to do the things, let's say, in a kind of parallelism, because you need to market. First, you need to see if there is traction, and to know if there is traction, you need to do tweets. You need to do videos breakdown. You need to attract the people. If you see there is, and I know there is traction for Alien World, that's no doubt on that. It's how we can do the outreach. And if you think about Jesse Jaffe now, with how he's turning out EOSBs to go more through the influencers. Let's say we approach the influencers of Alien World, and the influencers of Alien World are Anders Borg, or Stash, or all those guys that are really oriented NFTs, gaming. That's the world. And then you can outreach more, and using the workforce of the swarms of the EOSBs. And yeah, we are all connected. That's the beauty. And we can go at our pace, exactly at our pace, but having in mind to do the things right. We have a schema. We have let's say a method. Yeah, we have let's say a plan, but maybe we don't have the exact dates on the things. We don't have the exact dates, because dates does change. But we have, at least we have the logical steps, the logical milestones to reach. To go from A to Z. We know we have a plan, and this plan, we can build this plan week after week to have a nice to have a good vision indeed. Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. Yeah, perfect.
But very interesting Alien World, and I encourage a lot of people to come in, and we will do a nice marketing for sure, with the videos, with a lot of things, content material, very value added. Okay. I don't know, but for me, I have to go.
Yeah, I've got a meeting at the in a little bit as well. That was
But that's,
yeah, that was great. You've got a lot of thank you for all the questions. It really pulled out a lot of good good discussions.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks again so much, Dwayne, for hosting this and all the great answers too. It's been a fascinating past hour and a half or so. And yeah, I'm really excited about all the future things that we're doing here and kind of like the plans that you set up here and the way you're thinking about helping Alien Worlds practically with this. I think it's awesome. So yeah, I'm very grateful for that. And thank you, Doug and Patrick, for sharing all these great thoughts too. And hope that you're enjoying the mountains over there, Cat Doug.
Yes.
I'm
So
glad- I'm
three,
glad and we figured out 3 tools start getting some NFT points. So that's awesome, Doug. We figured that one out by the
Well,
end.
I don't know.
That's
All I know is
exciting.
I have some now. I after adding it, so something happened.
That's awesome. Well, thanks a
Yes.
lot, guys. We'll be in touch.
so we
Uh,
finish on something always
yeah.
fun. 3, 2,
Yeah.
1, 0, and we say go Alien World. Okay. So
Perfect.
3, 2, 1, 0. Go
Go
Alien
World!
World!
Thanks a lot, guys.
Okay.
I'll see you on the
Thank
other
you.
side of the metaverse.
Bye.
Okay, cool. See you guys. Thank
See
you.
you on the
Other
other
side of the
side.
portal.
Thank you. Bye.
Yes.